Allegations of sexual harassment and inappropriate sexual relationships are now dogging a South Florida police department.
A love triangle allegedly involving the now former Miami Gardens police chief is being exposed tonight, and taxpayers may foot the bill with the city on official notice that a hefty lawsuit is coming.
Here's investigator Bob Norman with a special report you'll only see on Local 10.
When you take this job, you have an understanding.
In November 2015, Antonio Brooklyn landed his dream job, Miami Gardens police chief.
The violence against our community must stop.
But less than a year in, Brooklyn abruptly resigned, citing his mother's illness and writing, "My mother, wife, and children are my heart, and I live for them." Brooklyn echoed that when I recently caught up with him at his home. Was that the real reason you resigned?
My mom means the world to me. My wife means the world to me. My kids mean the world.
But attorney Stephen Lopez says there was another reason.
Facts will show he left after these allegations.
Those allegations involve a love triangle that included Brooklyn and two young female police officers, Kalicia Battle and Kimberly McDonald. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, are you Kimberly?
No.
Hi. McDonald refused comment, but her attorney, Rick Diaz, confirmed that Brooklyn began dating her roughly 2 years ago when she was a rookie.
What are you thinking? You don't do that. You know, you're the chief. It's an abuse of power.
It's also in violation of policy, which dictates that permission must be given for such relationships. At the same time, McDonald was also dating Officer Battle, herself a rookie.
Kalicia Battle was in a relationship with Kimberly McDonald. There was an outside influence, and that was the chief of police.
Lopez is representing Battle, and he alleges that Brooklyn sexually harassed his client as well.
Battle can testify to that, and she has written proof of that.
Lopez and Battle say these texts came from Brooklyn while Battle was in the application process. One in which the chief allegedly wrote, "I want to feel you," and another where he allegedly asked to see her while she's out at a bar. Battle told me on the phone that Brooklyn once touched her inappropriately in a police car.
She was sexually harassed by Brooklyn, knowing that she was a lesbian.
The situation exploded April 18th when Battle and McDonald became involved in a physical domestic dispute at McDonald's home. An investigation began, during which Battle claims Brooklyn personally pressured her to resign with a promise he could help her get another job.
He would take care of her, and that he would make phone calls for her to either work in another department or he would bring her back. That never came through.
Lopez sent an intent to sue letter to the city just 3 days prior to Brooklyn's resignation last September. Can you talk about the sexual harassment allegations?
I don't know of any sexual harassment that occurred.
Brooklyn was tight-lipped on the allegations. Well, did you have a relationship with Kimberly McDonald while you were chief?
Comment.
So you're not going to deny that?
I have no comment.
McDonald's now suspended with pay. Both Diaz and Lopez say they blame the city for appointing Brooklyn chief in the first place.
Chief Antonio Brooklyn engaged in, sexual harassment throughout the course of his tenure at the Miami Gardens Police Department.
Before becoming chief, Brooklyn was suspended for 30 days and demoted back in 2009 and was investigated when a female crime scene technician alleged he sexually harassed her with calls and texts. An internal investigation found considerable inappropriate behavior on Brooklyn's part.
Was he the best guy out there for the job? Please. You don't put somebody in there who's got baggage, in my opinion.
Can you comment on the hiring? Mayor Oliver Gilbert, a friend and fraternity brother of Brooklyn's, refused comments. Do you regret hiring him, Mayor? I mean, you knew he had a history of sexual harassment. Was that a mistake?
We're trying to have our city council meeting. And while I appreciate that you want to
Well, we have a minute. You can just address it real quick.
No, we actually don't have a minute. We're about to start right now.
Attorney Diaz said he's exploring legal action against the city on behalf of McDonald as well, but he said right now she just wants to get back to work. In Miami Gardens, I'm Bob Norman, Local 10 News.
Our Bob Norman on the case. Bob, thanks a lot. Attorney Diaz told Bob that Brooklyn pressured Officer McDonald to delete texts and emails to hide their relationship, and she did so out of fear.